Hello again, I'm back, and today we'll be discussing Dick Grayson, the first Robin, Nightwing, sometimes Batman, and even called Renegade for a few storylines. Suffice to say, he has the range, darlings, and there's more than enough content to fill probably several documentaries. Still, for today we'll be sticking to just 3 common misconceptions, and as you can guess, given his age, the blurred lines of fanon, fandom, and the myriad of writers, making this a particularly treacherous path to walk. So before we get to that tightrope, let me thank my wonderful patrons for making this episode possible. Today's episode is going to be rather united in terms of theme, namely addressing a sort of fanon bleeding into canon characterization of Dick that has him portrayed as something of a joyful himbo. Point 1. Dick Grayson is one of the best detectives in the entire world. Period. Ignore Tim Seeley and Grayson having people say stuff like, but then again, you never were exactly the world's greatest detective, because this is provably false. Now, I could just do the easy thing and throw down Ra's calling him detective, but that man seems to view everyone in the Bat Clan as a detective, which either speaks highly of everyone, the ideal read, or means he never learned anyone's name, the comedic read. But instead, let's just hit some fast and fun bullet points across Dick's timeline. Solves 4 cases from America's Most Wanted list in a single morning, solves a 14-year-old unsolvable homicide case from his bed, figures out one of Riddler's schemes more quickly than Batman before even becoming Robin, is straight up implied/stated to be better than Batman by Batman. He's a brilliant escape artist, hacker, impersonator, knows 10 languages by heart and has a working command of 3 others, is a master at resisting interrogation, he picked up sword fighting at some point along with being a musician because apparently he just has enough hours in the day. Which doesn't even begin to address his skills as a scientist, medical practitioner, or automotive engineer, mechanic, welder, vehicle modifier, and general handyman. And just generally all around great at this stuff, and more to the point, very good at taking it seriously. None of that he treated as a game nonsense. Frankly, he's a bit of a workaholic. Look at this boy. Poor kid can't even enjoy Scooby-Doo because he just can't turn off that detective brain. Now, point 2, fashion and maturity. This is going to be a bit of an odd mix, but yeah, maturity and fashion. I.e., Dick doesn't actually live on cereal and is more than capable of handling adulting on his own. Trust me, once you've read enough fanfiction, you will grow as bitter and vexed as me by this stuff. But yes, Dick can do laundry and cooking and all the other stuff and is generally quite well put together. Even a trauma cavalcade doesn't really break the flow, so people don't even realize he needs help until he's on the brink of death. But less seriously, but also importantly for historical purposes, is this idea that Dick is some kind of fashion disaster or silly oaf, be it in civilian or hero wear. The latter is due to what's been dubbed disco wing, but even ignoring the fact lots of heroes show off their chests via plunging necklines and the fact it's an active tribute to his father's first uniform, thus carrying the family theme of Robin through, is the fact that it's actually legitimately kind of cool. But also more to the point, it serves as a perfect example of why people would think this about Dick, namely, he's very old as a character. Because see, Bruce has been wearing suits since forever, and while the style may have shifted a bit, preferred colours too, they're relatively timeless within the last 100 years or so. Dick, however, was youthful, meant to really embody the styles of the time or otherwise be fashionable. Which just so happens means that when someone looks back at the styles, they didn't always age as well as others in popular consciousness, but that's not reflective of an issue within Dick himself. Links to the posts I used as reference in the description. Now on to a final and rather serious point, anger. Jason's often listed as the angry Robin, and if not him, Stephanie, but during that period of his life, anger was originally only something that came up when he was acting notably out of character in-universe. Steph is a bit more of a mixed bag, but we've already talked about that elsewhere, or if not, we'll be talking about it more at some time in the future. Dick, on the other hand, has been actively grappling with what he describes as an uncontrollable rage on and off again throughout a lot of comics history, both in his inception as Robin and through this sometimes fraught relationship with Bruce's Nightwing. This is not to say, however, that he doesn't have a handle on his temper. Unlike some people, Dick's not prone to lashing out at those close to him or who need protection. Villains, on the other hand, aren't always so lucky, but it is indeed something he struggles with, especially when placed against enemies who have harmed him or his loved ones. Not that I don't find him giving Slade a beatdown fun, let alone offing the Joker. Thank you, Dick. But it is something he explicitly doesn't like about himself and struggles with, to put it mildly, and it's just another factor that leaves him as far more nuanced than the happy-go-lucky guy of the Bat Clan. Because yes, Dick can have fun and is more socially well adjusted than most of his fellow Gothamites, but that in no way makes him less skilled, mature, or troubled than anyone else in the clan. Dick's a complicated character with a lot of depth and a lot of history, and this is just scratching the surface, but for today, we are done. If you would like to help support these episodes and get early access to scripts, videos, stories, and art, please hit up my Patreon. If you would like to commission 3D art, please swing by my coffee and we can chat. For now though, that's all. Thanks for stopping by.